Alek Manoah returns tonight, will get the start at the Detroit Tigers. I know we've had a couple days to digest this now after John Schneider gave us the news on Tuesday and kind of just snuck it into the end of his media availability. Oh, hey, by the way, Manoah's starting Friday. We've had a little bit of time to sit with it. Maybe the surprise of the timing has worn off. But, Jeff, as you've sat with it a little bit, where have you landed on the decision to call Manoah back up now after only 2 minor league appearances ahead of the All-Star break? You know, if there's a starting rotation fatigue component, the break was just ahead. And yeah, probably some element of this Tigers team isn't terrible, but it's better than trying to work them back in against the Diamondbacks out of the break or something like that.
Yeah, I still don't know what to make of it. You know, part of the issue here is, and this is, I mean, the Jays certainly aren't obligated to tell everybody what they're doing with Alek Manoah. We still don't know why exactly he was sent down. All we know is he went down to the pitching lab to rework some things and, you know, to get better extension arm side and better shape in the slider, which, by the way, the reports that I heard from people inside the organization where the slider was crap in the Florida Complex League, and it was just slightly less than crap at the AA level. So I don't know if you would say that was a box that was checked off or not. The Jays aren't obligated to tell us the details of this. I don't believe for a second that this was the plan, based largely on things that, you know, I was told off the record. Other people were told off the record about where this was going. I don't think this was at all part of the plan. My sense is there was a lot of pressure on the organization. I think Chris Bassett's comments after his last start kind of shed some light on the fact that the other members of the starting rotation weren't exactly thrilled with the idea of being asked to change their routines because of the move to the 4-man rotation. I mean, essentially, at some point, these guys must have looked around and said, well, why are we being penalized because the organization failed to bring in any type of pitching depth, or because the organization waited as long as they did to do something with Alek Manoah? And I think that's going to be the emerging storyline here, is why did you wait so long? You know, we talked about the record inside the AL East. A lot of those losses were Alek Manoah starts. And I don't know what to expect tonight. I could get 6 solid innings. He could be out in the second inning. I don't know. But I do know that I was led to believe that he would not be back before the All-Star break, that he would have to make at least a couple of starts at AAA, that there was going to be a progression from single A to double A to AAA. And yes, they were going to try to find a soft spot in the schedule to bring him up. But, you know, unless the pitching lab revealed something spectacular, and they now have the key to Alek Manoah, they figured it out. They know exactly what it was. I don't think there's anybody out there, and I don't think there are people with the organization who, if they were honest with you, would tell you that they're anything but surprised that he's starting here. And I guess the other side of this too is, if you are the Blue Jays and we are getting close to the trade deadline, maybe you want to get a better read on where your guys are. It strikes me as odd that I think this organization has a better read on Hyunjin Ryu right now than it does Alek Manoah. But I think that maybe this is a sign, one, that Ryu's ahead of pace and that he could be up here sooner than we thought, which would certainly be great. And 2, maybe it's a sign that the Jays, their plan is still kind of taking shape. And if Alek Manoah can't deliver and Hyunjin Ryu can deliver, maybe you just send Alek Manoah down to AAA and you let him you let him stay there in the second half and figure it out and hope that you can maybe get him right for September, or certainly get him right for next year. But it's a puzzling decision, and I think it's also complicated by the fact, as Arden has mentioned, this isn't something you always see. You know, people always tell you, well, come on, Jeff, pitchers have gone down, you know, they've had good years and then they've gone down to the minor leagues. But this was different. Pitchers have had good years and then they've gone down to the minor leagues, and you can usually identify what's wrong with them, and quite often they do come back. This is a guy who was a Cy Young finalist, who literally fell off the face of the earth. It's not the same as Roy Halladay. It's a different situation, different time. But I just don't think we know where this is going to go. I really don't. I mean, the silver lining here, I guess, is the rotation's been so good that once you hit the All-Star break and reset, theoretically, you're probably just looking at Alek Manoah as your fifth starter, right? And maybe that's the kind of the one silver lining here, is the fact that with the All-Star break, you can recalibrate, you can reset, and you don't have to rely on Alek Manoah to deliver the way you thought you're going to have to at the start of the year. But my goodness, the one thing he can't do, he cannot be a drain in the bullpen. And yeah, that's kind of where I mean, I don't know how you feel. I'm surprised he's up here. I can't put it any other way. I'm just slightly less than shocked that they brought him back up here.
I was surprised as well. And one of the things you mentioned was the big thing that stood out to me is the slider. Like, when I know that there is a huge mental component to what's gone on with Manoah. There is a pacing and tempo component. There's a fastball velocity component, all of these things. But the slider is the pitch that went from being one of the best pitches in baseball last year to one of the worst pitches in baseball this year.
Yes.
And if that hasn't come back around, whether it's by movement or results or whatever else they're seeing in the lab, that is worrisome to me, because he needs that pitch. And he needs to throw it with, even before the ERA was as bad as it was, and he strung together several bad and short starts, he was still having trouble getting guys out when he got to two-strike situations early in the year. So that's a concerning one to me. Even I think back to that Yankees start where him and Garrett Cole dueled for 7 innings. Manoah wasn't really striking anyone out in that one. It was, it was kind of going deeper into counts and guys fighting things off. So the other thing you mentioned there, just if anyone was curious, Jays went 0-6 in AL East starts that Manoah, in AL East games that Manoah started. So, yeah, there's a component of that